A very good afternoon to you and welcome to a lunchtime news bulletin here on MTV Sports with News First. I'm Shahin Jurangpati. Let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon. A survey reveals a lack of habitual reading among school students. Investigations commence into a road accident which killed 3 Sri Lankans in Saudi Arabia. Sri Lanka, Pakistan and 30 other nations participate in a joint naval exercise. A recent survey has revealed that around 68% of school children are not engaged in habitual additional reading. The survey has revealed that almost 61% of the country's student population use computers and electronic media as a habit.
The survey was conducted by the National Library and Documentation Board, and it had revealed that a majority of reading undertaken by school students is not up to date. Chairman of the National Library and Documentation Board, Professor Somaratna Balasuriya, said that 50% of the school children who took part in the survey mentioned the titles of books authored 5 decades ago. He added that a majority of the children read children's mystery novels. Professor Somaratna Balasuriya said that over 50% of the students who took part in the survey had mentioned Martin Wickramasinghe, Kumaratunga Munidasa, T.V. Ilangaratna and S. Mahinda Thero as their favourite authors. The survey was conducted by the renowned sociologist Professor S.T. Hettige using a sample population of students from grade 6 and above. Professor Balasuriya said that based on the data of this survey, a program will be initiated to promote reading among children.
2 persons were killed in an accident last night close to the 11th mile post along the Monragala Ampara main road. Our correspondent said that 2 persons who were travelling on a bicycle had met with the tragedy. The hit-and-run vehicle in question had fled the scene. One of the victims was a 47-year-old father of the other victim, who was a 25-year-old youth. Investigations are underway into the incident. While commending the Sri Lankan government for the physical reconciliation work in the north and resettlement of IDPs, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Navi Pillay said yesterday that she remained concerned about the lack of meaningful progress on accountability and reconciliation.
You know that the report that I'd filed will be discussed before the Council. So while clearly the government has invested in the physical aspects of reconstruction and development in the north of the island, including resettlement of IDPs, all of which I welcome, I remain concerned about the lack of meaningful progress on accountability and reconciliation, and although I support the National Plan of Action for the implementation of the LLRC's recommendation, I do think that this is being done selectively. So I welcome the engagement by the Human Rights Council to monitor domestic processes, especially regarding accountability. For some time, the Sri Lankan government has been engaging with me, and it is true that I have an invitation from them extending for 2 years now. By mutual agreement, we stayed the visit pending the release of the LLRC report.
The Criminal Investigations Department has informed court today that Duminda Silva, who is a suspect in connection with the murder of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, had arrived in the island. President's counsel Hemanta Warnakulasuriya, who is appealing on behalf of Duminda Silva, had this to say.
Today, when the case in relation to Mr. Duminda Silva was taken in court, the CID officers informed the magistrate that Mr. Duminda Silva is in Sri Lanka and they would be taking the necessary legal steps. And CID requested the case to be kept down, and I appeared from Mr. Duminda Silva in his absence, and I had no objection. Now the case will be taken up later in the afternoon after the necessary steps have been taken by the police.
Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan High Commission in Saudi Arabia has commenced investigations into a road accident which occurred there, in which 3 Sri Lankan nationals lost their lives. 2 of the deceased were Sinhalese by ethnicity, while the other was a Muslim. The 3 men had met with the accident while travelling from the airport to their workplace. The Deputy General Manager of the Foreign Employment Services Bureau, Mangala Randenia, said that while the final rites for the Muslim men were performed on the same day in Saudi Arabia, steps are being taken to repatriate the bodies of the 2 other men who were killed in the accident. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Employment Promotion and Welfare Dilan Pereira says that the government will mediate to sign contracts regarding foreign employment. The minister made this statement at a media briefing convened to educate the employment opportunities in the Seychelles Islands.
The event was held to present air tickets to the graduate teachers who will take up employment in the state sector in Seychelles. 41 graduate teachers were presented with air tickets.
උපාධිධාරී ගුරුවරුන් සීෂෙල්ස් රටට යනවා. ඒක අපි හිතනවා අර නුපුහුණු ක්ෂේත්‍රයෙන් පුහුණු ක්ෂේත්‍රයට.
Our graduate teachers will depart for the Seychelles. We consider that as one of our attempts to change the employment from the untrained sector to the trained sector. As the government, we will always try to intervene. We are also attempting to sign MOUs with Middle Eastern countries in this regard. We did not have the ability to sign such MOUs until now. We signed MOUs with the states of Kuwait and Oman. We also obtained the primary document from Saudi Arabia to sign an MOU with Saudi Arabia.
හැකියාව තිබුණේ නැහැ මම හිතක් කරේ. අපි කුවේට් එක්ක අස්සම් කරා දැන් ඕමාන් එක්ක අස්සම් කරා සෞදි අරාබියාවත් එක්ක අවබෝධ කිසිමක් අස්සම් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය කරන පළවෙනි ලියවිල්ල අපි සෞදි අරාබියෙන් ගෙන්න ගත්තා.
The Department of Railways says that the railway line from Madhavatri to Madu will be reopened from next month. Railway General Manager GWS Sisira Kumar said that the reconstruction of the railway line, which was destroyed during the war, has commenced using funds donated by India. He added that accordingly devotees will be able to travel for the Madu pilgrimage from Colombo by train. Moving on to other local news, a fire that broke out in a factory in Kerawalapitia has been contained. The fire broke out at a palm oil factory at around 6:20 this morning. The fire department said that 7 units were deployed to contain the fire. The Ministry of Health has taken measures to register dogs island-wide under the provincial level. Deputy Director General of Health Services of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sarath Amunagama, said that the objective of this measure is to bestow and create a sense of responsibility to the owner of the dog. The Deputy Director General of the Health Ministry, Dr. Sarath Amunagama, noted that a constitution exists in the local government bodies to protect dogs. He also noted that acts such as protecting, providing medication and nutrition to the dogs are the key objectives of the registration. The advisor of the National Rabies Prevention Committee, Dr. Chamit Nanekkar, said that the registration of dogs will commence in Trincomalee tomorrow. On sports, starting off with cricket news, the third 2020 between the Sri Lanka women and the West Indies women is currently underway at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. West Indies, who were invited to take first leads of the wicket, posted 147 for 6 at the India allotted 20 overs. Top scorer for the Windies was Taylor Smith with 75. Now, Sri Lanka commenting their innings were 45 for the loss of 2 wickets. On to more sports news, the third and final day of the practice match between the Sri Lanka Development Emerging Team and Bangladesh is currently underway at the Unada grounds in Matara. Batting in their first innings after a rainy second day, the Bangladeshis were 97 for the loss of 2 wickets a short while ago. The match commenced after a 15-minute delay due to the downpours last night. The Bangladeshis commenced the day with an overnight score of 8 for none. Debuter Ishara Jayaratne was able to dismiss Bangladeshi opener Jahorul Islam for 29 runs. Earlier today, Sri Lanka posted 410 runs for their first innings. And that wraps up Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports. Thank you very much for joining us. For News First, I'm Shahan Jurangpati. Goodbye and take care.